This is part 2 of 3, how to accomplish the impossible. Step 2, do what's possible. If you have not seen step 1, please go back. It'll be linked in the show notes below. Last week we focused on the first step of how to accomplish the impossible, and that was to take action. Today, you'll receive 3 ways to ensure that you do what's possible. Stay tuned for this week's episode of MoActionTv, Motivational Monday. MoAction. 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 Do you remember last week when we were talking about how to accomplish the impossible, and I shared with you this quote: start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. How do you ensure that you are doing what's impossible? And the first point is to make sure that you're committed all in to your goals, and that start by first knowing why you're doing it and making sure that your why is important than all the other things that you can be doing, so much that you won't put off what you need to be doing it. And that's where football came into my life, because football was important to me. From room to room to the kitchen, I was breaking, I was backpedaling. I was what you call a hallway DB. And I knew that those daily actions was going to enable me to escape life in the hood and go as far as I wanted to take it. From Cal Poly to Seattle, Washington. And it's important that I knew my why, because it wasn't football, being a student athlete wasn't easy. Challenges came up day to day. I found myself having to be at doing either school or work from 5 a.m. to midnight, which wasn't easy. That's why it's important that you know your why, so you can stay committed to it. Because when life throws you punches, you got to know what's in your heart and why you're going to stand up to it and face that and do more action. Next, point number 2 is really don't start wishing things was easier. When those challenges come up, don't be afraid to face them. Attack them head on and be decisive, for by doing so, you'll either win and that reward will be paid back to you, or you'll get a valuable lesson which could pay you dividends in the future. Back to my college experience as a student athlete. There was weeks that my production wasn't going well. There was weeks that I wasn't getting good test scores. There was weeks when things were hard. Through it all, I stayed committed, and I did not wish things were easier. Why? Because at the end of the day, it made me the person I am today. It gave me better time management skills. It gave me It made me better at multitasking, and that's why you should never wish things were easier, for there will always be a lesson gained. And at the end of the day, it makes you the better person. And that's why it's important to keep that growth mindset of where either you're winning or there's lessons being learned. Day to day, step to step, action to action. There's always some type of value being shifted, and you got to accept it all. Which leads to the final point, is play the game. We all love to play games. That's what you're playing in life. Whenever you're trying to do something, you got to have passion and be committed to playing the game. For when you look back one day, you'll look back to the successes, but you'll look back to those lessons learned and thank yourself. Be in the fight. Love the thick of things. Once you're committed and start approaching life with a growth mentality, trust me, you'll start doing everything that's possible. Which concludes this week's episode on MoActionTv. If you like this episode, please be sure to hit the like button. Please. It lets me know that you like what I'm doing. And even if you hit the dislike, tell me something that I can improve on, because I will like your advice. Thank you.